It's about to be 5 years since we've seen another main installment in the Halo franchise. Considering Halo Infinite is coming out with Xbox's new system, the Xbox Series X, I would say there's a lot riding on this game being good and the expectations that the fans have for this game. So that's what this video is about. I'm going to go into detail of what I want Halo Infinite to be, from the story to how it looks to the campaign to even the multiplayer. We're going to break all that down here in this video. But before we get on with the video, definitely hit that like button if you guys enjoyed the video. You could always subscribe to the channel for weekly content, and you can follow me on Twitter at LordAddictIOP. But without any further ado, let's get on with the video. What's going on, you guys? Gaming Addict here, coming at you for another video. Like I said in the intro, we're going to be talking about Halo Infinite. It's no secret that there's a lot of people, a lot of Halo fans that are upset the way 343 is handling the brand and what kind of pressure is on them right now because of the way they've been handling the brand. Now, if for those of you that's watched my video on 343 versus Bungie, I did state there that I do think Bungie made better Halo games, but I don't think it's all doom and gloom. I do think 343 can turn it around. And the reason I think that is because they've already made the perfect game, but they've made it in two different games. They need to bring that together. A lot of fans didn't like the way they handled the Halo 4's multiplayer, but they loved the story. And it was pretty much the exact opposite in Halo 5. They didn't like the way they handled the story, but they loved the multiplayer. So take those two aspects and put them together, and I feel like 343 can actually do this. Now, the first thing I really want to talk about in terms of what Halo Infinite needs to do is it needs to be extremely eye candy. A lot of you know that I'm not the biggest fan when it comes to judging a game purely by the looks, but it is no secret that a lot of gamers do that. A lot of mainstream gamers do that as well. So this is something that they're going to have to look at. Not to mention they developed the slipspace engine. That's why it took so long for Halo Infinite to come out, because they made the slipspace engine. This engine they need to prove. So the perfect way to prove this is to have Halo Infinite looking at like one of the best games that's on this generation. And I honestly think that's extremely possible. A lot of people didn't really like the way that they showed Halo in 2019 at the E3, but I personally feel like the reason that you didn't see a whole lot when it comes to graphics is because it was a dark ship. So you didn't see a whole lot when it comes to what the environment can look like, what a lot of the lighting in this game can look like. You only really saw one source of light. So let's see the whole game before we start judging off of just a trailer. Hopefully with the slipspace engine, this will be one of the most beautiful games that you've ever laid your eyes on the Xbox platform. All right, the next thing we're going to talk about, we're going to talk a little bit about the story. Now, there is going to be some spoilers that happen in Halo 5. If you haven't beat that, go ahead and click off. I don't know why you're even watching this if you haven't beat it, but we're not going to go into that. Now, at the end of Halo 5, we have a couple of different scenarios that they could introduce into Halo Infinite. First thing, Cortana's went crazy. She has lost the sense of reality. Her biggest thing right now is she wants to maintain peace by pretty much world order. She has these machines called Guardians that the Forerunners made, and what those Forerunners made is pretty much machines that can rule an entire galaxy. They can monitor a whole galaxy. They are huge and they are very powerful, and she has control over a few of these. So it's going to be interesting how they put that variable in her persona that she developed in Halo 5 in Halo Infinite. A key component that's going to be interesting how 343 handles this is, what are they going to do with Master Chief and Spartan Locke? There was obviously some type of thought process between having Spartan Locke take over the mantle that Master Chief currently holds, but I don't think that really went over the way they thought it was going to go over. So I'm just interested in how they're going to incorporate Locke, if they've changed the story to keep Master Chief around longer or to make Master Chief more the center focus of the story. Now, the next couple minutes of this video is going to be directed towards Halo Wars 2. So once again, if you haven't played Halo Wars 2 or you care to be spoiled, which I don't know why you're watching this, click off the video now because I'm about to spoil all types of stuff from Halo Wars 2. So in Halo Wars 2, there is a lost section of people. They are known in the Spirit of Fire. I'm pretty sure that was the name of the ship. I keep these names mixed up. So what pretty much happened is they got lost, and now they have been in hibernation sleep for 28 years, and it's brought them to the current time where Halo Infinite will be taking place. Now keep in mind, the group in Halo Wars 2, they have access to 3 Spartans. 3 Spartans is with them. Jerome, Alice, and Douglas, they are in this game. They are Spartan 2s. All of them are, so they're the same Spartan type as Master Chief. Obviously, none of them are nearly as popular as Master Chief are, but they are in this game. So it's going to be kind of curious how they incorporate those Spartans into Halo Infinite. The main antagonist of Halo Wars 2 is a brute known as Atriox. This brute was pretty much sit into the back lines. He only had one thing and one thing only that he was assigned to, is do something that makes it a suicide mission. We don't expect you to come back. The Covenant pretty much told this man, and time after time he kept coming back, and sooner or later he got to the point where he's like, the prophets aren't about what, they're not the best for me. So he revolted, and he had a lot of people that, since he was so popular because he's done all of these suicide missions and he's become so famous, that they rebelled with him. Now he was able to get quite an army together, and he's actually a formidable foe, probably on the same level that the Covenant was on. There are a couple incidences in Halo Wars 2 where Isabel referred to the Covenant fighting two people on each side. One was us, and she said we barely beat the Covenant, and apparently Aatrox was so powerful at the height of his power that they didn't even come close to beating him. Now keep in mind, Aatrox's group is called the Banished. It has been confirmed that he is in some way, shape, or form, or at least his group, they are going to be in Halo Infinite. I don't know what to degree, but it does look like, I would say, since they used him to start the promotion for this July 23rd event where they're going to show more Halo Infinite, that he is most likely going to be the main antagonist of the game. But that's just me guessing. Also, in Halo Wars 2, the Flood came back. Now, I don't know to what degree that they might be in Halo Infinite, but I do think since they were in the expansion of Halo Wars 2, and I don't think that expansion was designed at the start. I think they put that in there because they wanted to use the Flood in Halo Infinite, but again, that's just me theorizing. Now, all that stuff I told you, it's a lot. It's a lot to take in, a lot of variables. They have the Cortana, they have the Master Chief Unlock thing, they have Locke in general, because I don't think they even necessarily know what to do with the man. They have the Banished, and they have the Flood. That is a lot of variables to make a really good story. I don't have much faith in them for that. I feel like that is a lot to take in one story. I don't think they're going to do another 3 games. They're going to have to conclude all of these variables in one game. Who knows? Maybe they have something going on. To me, I feel like 1 or 2 of these variables are going to end up teaming up with each other. Maybe Aatrox gets took over by the Flood and becomes the Greymon. I don't know. That would settle a lot of things, because it would be one of those scenarios where they took 2 of the enemies and put them together so they don't have to really defeat one enemy. Like I said, the Cortana thing is, I don't know how they're going to finish that either. Cortana is a beast. Cortana has Guardians. She probably at this time has control of all of the rings. It's hard to tell what they're going to do to deal with her. I would say Cortana is just as much of a threat as the Flood is at this point. I don't know how strong the Flood is now. I don't even know if they have a Greymon, but we're definitely going to find that out in Halo Infinite. But out of everything I have, all my worries for Halo Infinite, the story is the top priority, because I feel like since they messed up so bad in Halo 5 story, that they got to hit Halo Infinite story out the park. And I hope to God they prove me wrong on this, because it's like I said, that is a lot of variables to finish. That is a lot of stories to conclude in just one game, Halo Infinite. Now let's talk about something that a lot of Halo fans hate. Let's talk about the gameplay of Halo Infinite. How exactly, what should they keep, what should they not keep? There's a lot of fans that don't like what they've done to the franchise in terms of gameplay. They don't like having aiming down sights. They don't like having the ability to sprint. They don't like any of the Spartan movements that was implied into the Halo 5. And to a point, I understand where they're coming from. This is a franchise. This is games that they grew up on, Halo 1, 2, and 3, especially 2 and 3. And that multiplayer is iconic because it was a lot of skill based. There's a lot of skilled shooting. So pretty much a lot of the fans want Halo to remain extremely slow paced, where it's more about accuracy, not the speed of the game itself. And like I said, I respect that. But to me, I do feel like one of the key components they need to keep Halo alive is they need to bring in new people into the franchise. Who is going to play a game that you can't sprint? I'll wait. Tell me. There's not a lot of people that's going to give a game an opportunity if you can't sprint. Aiming down sights. Once again, who is going to try a game out where you can't aim down sights? I understand there was a lot of concepts that you guys liked from the old days, but 343 didn't even bring sprint into the franchise. Bungie did. And I get it. You guys don't want it in there, but it's like I said, they try to meet you guys at a middle ground. If you sprint in Halo 5, your shields don't regenerate. And if you shoot aim down sights in Halo 5, if you even get shot one time, it gets you shot out of it. So if you come across a great player that is, that needs that aimed out sights, and you come across an average player that can shoot in the hip fire position, the average player is most likely going to beat the great player every time. Now the Spartan abilities from Halo 5, I might be a little bit more lenient towards that. Maybe they can adjust that or just keep that in the campaign, but in the multiplayer take it out entirely, or maybe have its own playlist. I don't know. But to me, I feel like the gameplay mechanics that's been in Halo, they're fine. I know a lot of people probably won't agree with me on that, but I personally feel like they're fine. To me, Halo's always felt like map control is the core foundation of Halo. What side's the shotgun on? What side's the sniper on? What side of the map do we need to keep because we don't want the other team getting it? When's the shotgun gonna spawn because we need to go get that? Where's the sword? We need to make sure we have the sword. That's always felt like Halo to me. I get it, a lot of people like that slow gameplay with that incorporated, and I understand that, but to me, it's always been the map control for everything else. And that's one of the reasons I didn't like Halo 4 is because they took that out. But Halo 5, that was there. Now, they've implied a lot of multiplayers in the past. One of the things that I want to see them really double down on is Forge. Forge has always been one of the key components to keeping Halo community intact. There's nothing better than making a really fun Forge map and having all your friends play it. And I want 343 to make sure this goes out without a hitch. Halo 5's Forge is awesome, and I want them to expand on that. In Halo 5, they have a mode called Warzone. I don't think this is coming back. For some reason, I feel like they're going to take this entirely out of Halo. I hope I'm wrong, because I have a lot of friends that love Warzone, and they would be a little upset if that's taken out. I do feel like it should be in there as like an optional mode. I don't think it should be taken out of the game entirely, but that's just me. Arena, Breakout, you know, these were my favorite things to play in Halo 5. I didn't really touch Warzone too much, so definitely bring those back in some way, shape, or fashion. I don't know exactly what they can do because I felt like the multiplayer was in a good spot for Halo 5. I just feel like, you know, some light improvements, some you know, quality of life changes as well, and I think Halo 5's multiplayer will be fine to bring over to Halo Infinite. Just make some changes that shows that you've been working on the game for 5 years, put some new game modes in there. I would love for them to bring back Warzone for the people that like that stuff. It wasn't for me, but it is what it is. You know, keep the movement in there. I know people aren't gonna like that, but you're Spartan, you guys. Why do you think Spartans move like tanks? Spartans are supposed to be mobile and agile. They're not supposed to move like they a tank. I don't understand that concept, but we ain't going into that. There's a lot of rumors going around that they might take the story and the core gameplay and make it like Destiny-like. I don't know what that means. Destiny's a loot shooter, Halo's not. So I kind of hope that's wrong. I don't want them going that direction. I want Halo. I don't want Destiny. If I wanted to play Destiny, I'm a huge fan of the franchise. I have all the expansions. I'll go play Destiny. Give me a Halo experience. Do not give me none of that. Now, if you want to do something with the multiplayer and you have like season passes and stuff, that's one thing. Depending on how you did it, I might be okay with that. But when it comes to Arena, the 4v4, keep that pure. Don't change that. You know, that's all I really have to say about Halo Infinite. I do think this is an important game for Microsoft, and they can't afford to drop the ball here. We're about to come up on the information that we've always wanted. We're about to see our first real in-depth look when it comes to the campaign. But if you guys really enjoyed this video, you know, you can always go over to the Iron Lords podcast. I'll be doing live reactions there, so you can see me live reacting to whatever they show at this event for Microsoft. But that's the video. Definitely go in that comment section below if you disagree with anything. I don't want, like, you know, a lot of fighting down there. Just give me your honest opinion why you don't agree with me. I'm sure a lot of things will come up about the gameplay. A lot of you are definitely going to disagree with that. But, you know, definitely put that in the comment section below. This is Gaming Addict. I'm out of here. Peace.